returned. The original. Actors Ra. But don't tell nobody. Alright. Starseed Orientation. I had a few things that kind of hovered in my mind that I'd like to share so people know where we're going. I actually wanted to call this video How to Prepare Before Contact, but that shall be another tale. So, this is about more Starseed Orientation. So it will bleed with how to establish contact, how to be a chosen one, how to choose to be a chosen one. But more so, spirituality today. What is the truth? Who knows what the truth is? What's truth? To give you my honest opinion, I've been observing the pros and cons, and people diss the speakers, whoever it is. Well, I'm not going to do name droppings, but this is what I want to say. Most of the haters don't do the work that these people do. They write books, they bust their ass, they, pardon my French, they change a reputable career into what the 3D muggle mind or the nomad deciphers as madness and insanity. They make themselves subject to ridicule, me too, humiliation, me too, where we're on the brink of having to understand that we are in contact with extraterrestrial beings. The government has mapped certain races. A lot of things went down the pipe. For us to experience things, there is proof and there is theory and there's experience, which is an indirect proof, and there's witnesses and there's experiences. Yes, if you want to be hardcore, I can say, well, if Dr. Stephen Greer has a piece of paper that said, well, this piece of paper said this in 1962, well, what is that gonna do to me right now? For me, having that knowledge and the awareness that I already have, the consciousness that we're already there, what is that going to do to me? What is the purpose for that? Question, you know. We could have changed history 100 years ago. What are we changing now? What is being observed as in being the change? And why is it that it always has to be the freaking government route? And somebody who has this miraculous device that's going to be released for free or potential highly efficient super energy. Like, I don't believe in that paradigm that it is so obvious, and that to me is a program construct, and what I have to share with you is how I see it. You create reality, so let's create a reality where no official has to give you a secret patent and gets killed over it, because that's nonsense. This is like the dumbest reality monopoly game ever in my mind. How about somebody has a device that actually works, that is for sale, that doesn't, like all the others, fail after 3 months and works, and they can put it on the table and they can put the money where the mouth is. Meaning when the rubber meets the road, the stuff works. Well, that's where we come into play, and the backup that we have. So if anyone has a system that delivers electricity without being so complicated, that you can build and you can sell for, I don't know, $500, like the cachet thing. I want to see one guy that is in a video that hooks up the 2 refrigerator parts to spark the system, to have an independent system running. Look at the cachet thing, where I think one spiral kind of he exchanged with another one. That's why it kind of was overheating a little bit, but nevertheless it was running. If anybody like this sells this for $500, I'll buy, and I'll turn it on and I'll demonstrate it'll work. I'll also know how to take a running system, because I'm a master builder. I'm 33 and I'm not Mason. That's my numerology. I'm 33 by birthright. Many wish to attain that. Let's get past that. It's not about PhD, MD, ABC, quackademics, lamestream, all of that stuff that buffers and hinders us actually to do what we have to do. This is more about, can you put it on the table? Can we align the parts to, okay, now turn the machine on. Holy Tantra's Tuesday. And it works, okay? So I'm more at the practical side. I appreciate that other work and the government and the past and Roswell and the crashes that happened there and the senseless use of crap to go against the race that's actually more cautious about us than we about them, as in whatever rogue people are behind that. Also, whoever messed with that, whoever plays with an ongoing fake alien abduction to terrorize people, when your soul goes through the review, this will be all the pain that anybody in the flesh was aware of, and I don't care what structure you're in, will be played back times 100 with all the pain that you have caused, with everything that was caused of an undivine nature. That's not karma, that is installment for the soul to remember when next time you come back, and when you do it, you most definitely will come back because you'll be downgrading yourself. Your higher self is the equivalent of source energy, and you have installed systems to prevent crap from coming back. It can't come back. Also, heaven has a self-protective mechanism. It will intervene if you think you can extend any power, nuclear-based, to weaponize space. It's from races that are, let's say, 100,000 years, and I'm being conservative here, ahead of us, kindergarten. They can come in and change and alter holographic perception, and you don't even know what's going on. If somebody's supposed to have a different idea because they don't engage in a timeline that is actually the original blueprint for the soul, switch! And it's going to be a little bit adjustment bureau. Like, you know, you remember the movie. So here's the idea as I'm going through my paper. Spirituality today, what's your truth? How do you perceive truth? How do you define truth? Almost sound like Morpheus. You think that's air you're breathing? What is evidence? What is evident? History. What you learned in school, I feel sorry for you. This is utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. Carl G. Jung said, judging is easier because thinking is complicated. So if we are domesticated over 30,000 years, well, then it's easy to know that the haters will judge first before they use their own mind and think. So here's the example that I use, even if we have 1% non-believers. I go by farmer's knowledge, my German grandma, German grandpa, okay? And this is what I want you to look at. When you look at all the speakers, all of the information that's being released to you is now. First, create contact groups. I will have one. I will announce what this group will be called and what we're going to do and where this leads, to establish physical contact to the best of our abilities. And it won't be government officials because that's not the route. That route has failed. Now it's going to be people like us. What will be checked is the divine mind state. Okay? So we have heard many stories of many speakers for over 40 years on stage, what, who, how, and we still have people on this planet that have not made the experience with that. So it's time to create an alignment where this experience can take place and we can all share the experience leading to contact. The facts will be in front of you and they will materialize, but we will have to meet them at their frequency. With all of that you hear on stage and all the Gaiam and all the stuff you hear, what's the application? So I'll give you a simple example. If I'm going to a school of agricultural knowledge and I'm learning how to plant seeds to grow potatoes, strawberries, raise bushes that grow peanuts, trees that grow apples, know how to grow melons, all the things we need as life force exchange for the body. You listen to my theory or theorem and how I teach. I hope you follow me here. Now you listen to the one that is on stage that is teaching. Now you watch the students planting the seeds. Okay, so one example for as in you are a gardener, as in a master Jedi, all wanting to be. The two students that studied under Jay-Z Knight Ramtha created the movie What the Bleep Do We Know? That is success. To be. Okay? When somebody that has studied under a channel like Gene Roddenberry creates Star Trek, that is success, whether people know it or not, in fact. Now back to the gardening system, I have studied under the agricultural master Agra, and my garden looks like this. My flowers bloom, my potatoes are this size, and I'm feeding people and everybody's happy. That is success. In between what we do is a lot of BS, and that has to stop, because if somebody has something to say and they're not in the position that we are and they can't do it better or have a bigger network than we have, and I'm over 2 million people, so, and I have a network that's 8 million people in it, so I am known for who I am. See this camera? This is unscripted. There's no edit, there's no cut, no switch in, no nothing, and no Illuminati hand gestures. People are so lost in a gullible mind state that they want to see things that actually do not exist where I am at. Right now I'm talking really simple, and you hear all types of environmental noise around me that I'm not in control of, so you know we're not faking the funk here. So my grandma is like, look at the gardener's garden. If you want to quote Esau, what did he say? We will know who's who by the fruits of their labor. So at the end of the day, you have to look at my garden. What does that do? How does that enhance a change? And over, I have to prove that this works. And it's not just my magic. It's a conglomerate of many people and scientists coming together, finding ways, and me finding the assembly to put it together so it makes sense. So if I have, let's say for example, 2 years ago at Contact in the Desert, I had a doctor with hip pain. Ironic. A doctor with hip pain, a woman, for 20 years, couldn't heal herself. And I gave her one of my large devices because I said, okay, I need to override the threshold of her intracellular communication not picking up, which is science. This is not voodoo or kooky stuff. This is stuff that is actually can be proven if you have a biophotonic emission chamber that can actually read the light that comes from life force or through life force established. As in, we know the DNA produces light, bions, photons that are emitted from life force. That lady sat with one of my industrial size raw cells for 20 minutes and says, can I sit a little longer? My hip pain is gone. I can move my leg upwards, which I couldn't do. I was kind of like on limp. Lower back pain, it's all gone. What in the world is this? It's not magic, it is science. Science that has been forgotten. And you see how slow our consciousness is the side effect is if you clip that to your fuel line, your car begins to save fuel. You've got to hit the sweet spot though. If I check my store by what I do, my delivery, how I talk when I meet people, over thousands of items sold, and it's all 5-star rating, 100%. Maybe I have one that gave me 4, but it's you can check. It's all transparent. It's online. It's what people vote for, and I think you should trust that. Trust the people. Don't believe what's been said. Look at the fruits of my labor, and then you have your own evidence of what works. So what else? So we had potential. So a lot of speakers were talking about the potential garden, the potential potatoes, and all of this is the potential, and the industrial complex that's out of Earth, and all this is very interesting. Let's ground it in and ask ourselves, what is the application for what you're teaching me in my life right now to expand my consciousness, to open up my third eye, to get wiser, to get more psychic. I'm seeing stuff. I can be a profiler if I want to. I know with what intent people come to me. That's readable. Not on a psychological scale. It's just there's an intuition and a feeling that you have with people. You tap into that, you trust in your magi, and the stuff comes back. And it's miraculous. And the more you train yourself, which is what I do every day, the sharper your mind gets, the sharper your psyche gets, the quicker you understand things. So the problem we have at some point, which is what I see, that even the speakers amongst themselves, all of you out there, all the famous one, everybody has something to say about everybody. That needs to stop. I will do a video on the 10 principles of Ra, where I explain to you what you have to embody before you can even turn on your rainbow body. You know, you're created in his likeness. That's an image, you know. First there was the word, that is sound, you know. So these are 2 steps. Then when you acknowledge this, you have family. How can we, in love, be family, not bicker and bitch about one another, and be family? That's all there is. Like, we love each other, we act as one, we do as one. All is one, one is all, but not all act as one. That still needs fixing. We're making progress. I'm happy that Erich von Däniken sold over 70 million books, 23 languages. I'm happy that Stephen Greer is a #1 on iTunes, breaking on Hollywood first release movie records with conscious media. I'm happy that Corey Good can share his stuff. I'm happy that Wilcox Speaks, Linda Moulton Howell, Giorgio Tsoukalous, George Nuri, all the ancient alien guys. I'm happy that these guys, this is my world. But amongst each other, the streets has ears. We cannot talk about another. Clifford Mahudi, a very good friend of mine, much love to this man. And he keeps saying it, I'm a very, very simple man, is we have to sit together and work together. The Hertogs know the plan. Much love to them. Then you have Robert Bouval, this other guy that was an Ancient Aliens, who was a professor, who has kind of long hair, beard, I don't know his name. Mr. Childress with his bookstore. All of you out there, this is the call to you. You all need to sit at a table, and maybe one day I have the chance, and create the common denominator and a thread that connects you all, and you set something up and you turn it on for all to see, for all to witness, that this makes sense, and this planet is healing, needs healing, and can heal, and we can accelerate that. Yes. So, what else? So basically, sometimes, what I read in Tom Canyon's book, which I agree, is that the Arcturians have problems connecting with people psychically because they have a compartmentalized, left brain-controlled ego filter that blocks the intuition from responding to what's going on and really taking the message in and receiving See, as I'm talking about this, how the sound came in of something that was disturbing, and it doesn't care that it disturbs, and it makes its presence felt, and it doesn't care, and it hovers. These are energies. So the universe is actually synchronistically in sync with what I'm saying, which is pretty amazing. Like, I guess we are beyond having to prove that extraterrestrial life had made contact, is making contact continuously. We just moved it into dreamland a little bit. If you go to the Ezekiel sightings, NASA has, according to what was in the Bible, now imagine that, a wheel within wheels that can go forth and sideways, created a wheel that that from the lunar lander the rover can use, which is a wheel that has wheels within wheels. They don't depend on the central axis anymore, so the thing can go either this way or sideways or in circles without the wheels having even making a steering movement. Well, that is a patent based on Bible studies. So that shows you futuristic technology can be actually reverse engineered from reading ancient text. So we're past that too. Nobody needs to prove anything anymore. Here's the thing for intellect. Educated minds can entertain thoughts without having to accept them. That means don't get stuck in thought loops that are useless and nonsense and non-essential for you, that don't do anything. You can look at everything and then find something that makes sense to you and bring it down to earth and ground it back in. Yes, we need some coaches here, some, you can say, spiritual or keep it real leaders to make it happen, to bring an alignment forth to the fireplace of consciousness. Who brings the wood, who brings the food, who got the water, the juices, who makes sure the tents are all in line at a certain level. At night times everybody can rest. The exercise for consciousness in the morning is taken care of. When I will do my retreat, I will actually teach how that works, that we have an idea, and then others can walk away from me being teacher, teaching others. Each one teach one. What else? So understand that belief systems can be a part of a conservative system that is insanity. Meaning, if you have thoughts that you repeat over and over, that you go by and nothing changes, that's insanity. The universe doesn't loop. The universe does this all the time. The problem of loops is insanity and time traps. Maybe at some video I will get into this, where we got trapped in time loops and Mandela effects and stuff will never happen. Nibiru is not coming right now. Don't expect it right now. The thing is, what are you doing right now to make the change, okay? So thoughts looped on repeat are equivalent to insanity. Free your mind from being trapped in belief systems that are repetitive. Spiraling thoughts are the ones that expand your mind. And they're not overfed, they're not underfed, they're not under or inner or over or whatever entertained. They are tolerated to be looked at and see if you find an application. Every thought is a spirit form. So a demon can be a thought form. Okay? See how the universe responds? When things gets ruckus, the immune system will bark and will make noise. And we're being watched. Everything checks us. So this is pretty amazing. Like, everything is moving. So now things calm down. The system has made known we're watching you. We're watching you. We're not tolerating the crap anymore. So always look at what is truth. Share that with others. That's the idea. Then also understand what works for you. Maybe you're too scared to make contact and it doesn't work for you. Then let others do it. Okay? But don't complain how they do it when it's being done and others learn. The challenge for us is to make it real now, to bring it home. So that's what I'm working at. Too many copycats out there. Originate your own sourcing. Also fighting over copyrights, who coined what term and what it's about, to fair exchange and shareable thought waves. So if I have something that's pleasant for you and that's shareable and that makes sense, that means it's a shareable thought wave. It's like file sharing. Well, it's more feasible for everybody else and everybody can have fun. So let's say you'd have, I don't know what I've seen online, a network that provides movies for kids that can't afford and certain islands to go to the movies because they need food and movie theaters out of their pocket. And somebody says, you know what, every Saturday I have a guest house and he streams from what he gets from the server for the kids to watch. Well, that's only fair, right? Because we have everything. Then, yeah, originate sourcing. I've seen people taking ideas from other people, copying, saying, well, caring is sharing. Well, not in that case when it's blatantly copied from the next guy. Everybody is individual. If you copy a Picasso, it's going to be a copied Picasso. Know that. You know, when somebody builds pyramid tips out of orgone and the next one wants to build that and it kind of looks like what this guy is building, well, then it's evident who's the original. You got to really stick to your own stuff, do your own thing. Somebody has intricate pieces and creates them, well, they have a signature. That is what makes them. So respect to them. Do your own, create your own. Don't try to run because somebody is sourcing and he seems abundant and everybody wants to go there. Hollywood did it and look what it did to us. The world did it, the big cities did it. Look at what it did to this planet. We want to be a class 1 intergalactic citizen group. We're still having war on this planet. So we're not consciously fully clear yet, are we? So, also when people criticize, I've seen, and that's to the 1%. The good ones, you're with me, I love you, don't worry. But what we should tell them is, if anything has to criticize, bring a constructive alternative to what can be done better. So if somebody gets water from the well and you have a better modality or method to bring water from the well, then demonstrate that, make it so, and I will bow and I'll say I stand corrected. Let's use the method of what this person is actually suggesting. He makes more sense than I do because I'm humble and I know what makes sense. But a lot of haters we have seen have networks with 0 subscriber or 1 subscription, 2 video uploads, and they just created the account so they can hate on your account. It's never the big ones that come to you, interestingly. It's always the little guys. And the little guys, they don't go to Beverly Hills or the big corporations. They go to us, the builders, that are about to catch momentum, that are about to climb up, about to have a breakthrough. Let's crucify them. That's a system loop. That's an insanity of a cabal organism program stuff that needs to also stop. It is evident, it is seen, we know it. We don't have to mention names because they're not even in anything worth mentioning. Just so you know what's going on. Wash your mind. Thought hygiene. What are you subscribing to? What channel are you watching? Let's be independent, not codependent, and that's also for all relationships, marital status, polyamorous, whatever you want to call it, whatever you are, whatever badge you want to wear. No more codependence. Interdependence. Independent decisions we can make and we can meet or be together by mutual agreement. Self-responsible, self-sufficient, self-reliant, and good. Inner stand. Step away from doomsday cults. Metatron is the angel of evil. My God, what's wrong with you people? The flower of doom. Really? Is this like kind of like hip-hop where these myths are created out of nowhere, out of thin air, and just to make a point? Little side note, flower of life. appears in all nature. Beryllium crystals, microscopic particles of coral. You see the seed of life, perfectly formed. So anybody want to tell me that this is created to trick you? Who's the fool? And I look at nature. So if your grass grows, your apples are not rotten, people live and people are well and healthy, that's what I follow. That's the direction we should go. Look at the facts, like Sherlock Holmes. We collect all the evidence, look at where this is pointing in, and look at this as it is. Not all of this fairy tale add-on stuff that is worse than actually what's really going on in the world. Be the gardener. And also say, when people go out there to create contact groups and get the equipment to show you what's really going on. It's been recorded over and over. Even I went to Shasta even before I had my first contact group, and I have like 11 lights or vehicles on camera that kind of did some interdimensional stuff that I don't think the lower dimensional people can do. Like the government created stuff, I don't think they're in charge. Let Noah build the ark. Let him. Let's see what happens. Let the contacts Autobots transform. Let the contact groups meet and let the changes begin. This is the ultimate test. Let the people do. As we come together in peace, in harmony, in joy, giving each other a good experience, well, so be it. Let them. Okay? We don't need anybody to disturb that. Truth does not require a belief system. It is what it is. You can't add or take away. It is what it is. You will find my Facebook group under Ascension Contact Initiative, in brackets ACI, if you're interested. And this is for serious people. So we will have jackets, we will have t-shirts, but this will actually also be explained in another video. Like I said, it's hard for me to just not have the stuff blend, where we will see what equipment is available, who can bring what, how we can make this a little YouTube documentary, and urge other groups, create your own formations out there, wherever you are, if you have enough following, and get in gear and establish that. I know when I go places, the ships come. Couple of psychics and a good friend of mine who represents my subconscious aspect in the Mayan calendar says that I'm the ship caller. They know where I'm at, and when the time is ripe and the face conjugation is upright with me, I'm like a lighthouse. So let's put it to the test. I'm not making any promises, but I'll invite you to watch my progress, and I will record it, and I will demonstrate, and I will show what will take place. I'm also willing to invest in a infrared camera, which is not night vision. There's a difference, okay? Infrared is for heat signatures. So let's say you have a Sasquatch from the tree line watching you interdimensionally, emanating heat, but your eyes cannot see that because you're not trained. But you have a camera that can do that. Well, you can induce something that will show you there's somebody standing in the tree, and you can record it with your iPhone. So we can make real. We have created technology to enhance that, to bring it in. So let's not curse technology. Some say Silicon Valley wants to go the digital conscious way. I think that will never happen, even if they try. Even if all the scenarios if you've seen with Terminator and whatnot, what's out there, probable, impossible timelines, it's impossible. Because consciousness will be consciousness and maintain consciousness. And the best technology in the world you have, never belittle yourself. You just building systems to give you a crutch to understand the level of your consciousness. Once that is reached, a lot of other systems will die over time. Meaning, it'll come and they'll go. So don't be afraid. Trust in you. Believe in the good. I believe everybody has the capacity to turn on their rainbow bodies. but not everybody makes the choice. Everybody has the capacity to go to Best Buy and get a new TV, stereo system, and go fully virtual reality interdimensional, but not everybody makes the choice to buy that because not everybody thinks or believes that that is necessary. That's okay. It's the navigators, the pioneers, the explorers that usually get all the arrows in the back. They're usually the ones that get crucified. Look at all the holy people that wanted to make change. And I've seen the phases. A new idea is first ridiculed, then it is torn and ripped to shreds, and then at a third level it is globally accepted as the idea of the century. So since this is a loop that I'm aware of, I say to you, let's move forward and onward. So this is the announcement of the foundation of the Ascension Contact Initiative, ACI, created by me, Mr. Ra. The group is on Facebook. Sign up to witness, but I want people to be active, not just sign up. You have to understand, on Facebook I have 5,000 people, and on my birthday I get 300, birthday wishes. That shows me that roughly out of 5,000 people, you have 300 to 500 people that are active. There can be more. I wish Facebook would install something to unfriend people if they remain inactive for, let's say, 9 months. 9 months inactivity, nothing posted, nothing agreed, nothing clicked on, you'll be just unfriended. Free riding is over. Babysitting is over. This is your time to step it up, to get in gear and bring your business to the task. We're all here, we're all grown-ups. The young ones, you can trust us. Those who know, they don't talk. My listeners and my friends and my loyals, I love you, you make this possible. And you show the others that you make a decision to subscribe. You subscribe to something that's funny. It's lemony, it's orangey, it's minty, it's refreshing, it brings you up, it brings you energy, it brings that to you, what you want in your life, what you wish to take place. And this is the future that I see. Many contact groups are being formed. Many initiatives are being created, not just by one, by many. And contact is established, and we will begin to build starseed starports for interdimensional craft to manifest. And ambassadors will be chosen to represent the human race and their following. And these connections will form community clans, and these community clans will form a covenant with the meetings in special areas where you'll be tested with meditation and all other good things to actually really analyze in depth the divinity of your thought patterns. The pure intent that you hold, it can't be faked, it's an energy thing. And from there, the ships and our visitors and your ancestors and your future know you're right for contact, because they go around that. If we have non-believers, trust me, the sky goes, and interestingly, nothing happens. Like zero. That's also strange. But that never happened to me so far. And always the ones that felt the call to come and see me and meet me, and we hang out and have a lovely time, it's going to get very interesting, because we're past the point of ignorance, not knowing there is no contact. And for those who still don't understand what's going on, they're still non-believers, and they still want to bring in reptilians, devil, and all of the stuff stuck in three-dimensional fairy tales that have been created to keep you here. Because none of that evil talk pays no one's bills, does it now? None of that draconian talk plants any seeds. At least not for me. And those who do have interference or government interference and they screen you or they drug you, well, there are modalities to protect yourself with what? Awareness, consciousness, knowing what's going on, paying attention to the environment, looking at patterns, listening deep to the self, and developing depth. On that note, I thank you for listening to this very deep and intrinsic display of waking up for contact and making sense in the spiritual turbulence of this and this is that and that is this. Getting out of potential theory, you can sit in hours and hours of readings, or you can go into the field and let's see if we can make something move in the sky. And that is how the magic begins. So I'll most certainly see you on the flip side. Peace out.